Kyle Bradshaw from Cruiser Customizing.
Gregory Beck with Tucker Distributing.
On this Wednesday with Greg, we're talking about motorcycle tires. This particular bike right here was just brought in out of the rain. It was ridden in on this morning, and if you take a look at this tire, it's absolutely toast.
Yeah, this is pretty sketchy. You know, this morning when he rode in, probably wasn't wet out, but now it is, and he's going to ride home with tires that really don't have a way to channel the water because the grooves are all worn off.
Take a look at these four motorcycles up here and take a look at the tires and see what we can tell or determine by just looking at the tire, whether it's good or whether it needs to be replaced.
Yes, and honestly, sometimes you can tell by looking, and sometimes you just have to determine if the tire doesn't come up to your expectations anymore. In other words, if it doesn't perform at the level you want, the tire's worn out.
Absolutely. I once had a set of Pirelli tires. Completely great tread on them, but in cold weather or when it was rainy, they were slippery as snot.
Probably didn't have a lot of silicate in it, which the tires need to be really grippy in rain.
Greg and I are sitting next to an 1100 Aero with some pretty retro tires. What can we tell by looking at this tire, Greg?
Well, first of all, it's a wide white wall and it's a bias ply tire, front tire. And the reason I say front is because there is specific tires for the front and the rear. Even if they're identical sizes, the front tires are always shallower and also have a rounder profile. And the reason that they have less rubber on them is because if they were really, really heavy, they'd be hard to turn as compared to the rear, which doesn't turn. If you notice right here, there's a slight ridged area in the groove, and that's called a tread depth indicator. And the manufacturers mold that into the tire so that if you can't tell any other way, if it is exposed and it's flat, then your tire tread depth is at the maximum. If you don't know where to find your tread depth indicator on the tire grooves, look on the side and there's an arrow indicating that in fact that indicator is somewhere in this area. Okay, the importance of the tire groove is that they channel water and debris away from the tire as it wants to touch the ground to get traction. Perfectly dry situation, this tire would be very dangerous to ride on. When these grooves get worn down or get distorted, it's time to change the tire. Here, this surface is relatively smooth. If in fact it was distorted or had a lot of scalloping, that would indicate that there's a problem with either tire pressure and or suspension, which is something that you should fix in order to get your best handling and tire wear.
There you have it. Whether you're looking at the front tire or the rear tire, making sure that the sidewall's not cracked, you've got plenty of tread depth, proper air inflation, and the tire has no punctures or defects is a key thing to take a look at before you go out and hit the road.
It's your responsibility, I mean it's your butt on the bike. Check your tires. It's a good time maybe to find something that's stuck in your tire that you could save the tire before it goes through it.
Tires. Check them often and replace them when needed.
Yeah, it's the first suspension on your motorcycle.